live with the community. This is the Microsoft 365 and Power Platform Development bi-weekly call. So excited for today's call. This March 27th. I am your humble host, David with Warner with Quizzitive. And let's take a look at what we're going to talk about today. We're going to have the latest updates on the community. We're going to see the Copilot prompt of the week. We're going to hear updates on .NET libraries and PowerShell, script samples, and Copilot Camp. All these wonderful things along with Power Platform samples. And then, of course, everyone's favorite time, picture time with Together Mode. So get those fantastic faces ready. And then we are going to have three amazing presenters today, two of which are first timers, everybody. So let's show them a lot of community love and appreciation for what they're going to do in sharing their passion. The first is going to be Chris. He's going to share Power Apps chess, but there's business value. So I believe he's going to check all the boxes on that. See what I did there? Chess, check. Okay, anyways, then Sriram is going to be here. AI-assisted Power Platform development using Power Platform AI Assistance Toolbox. And Seena is going to round it out, building a smart feedback agent with Copilot Studio, adaptive cards, and Power Automate. So it's the hat trick of presentations, everybody. But first, let's talk about all these amazing resources that are available to each and every one of you. We have our LinkedIn, or excuse me, our community YouTube learning videos. Now, this one breaks all the rules in all the right ways, meaning that we pump out content to you because you deserve it. And we want to make sure that everyone is getting as much content as we can possibly dish out. So that means that you're going to see new videos almost every single day for your viewing and learning pleasure. So we have that. So go subscribe and like those videos. We've also got our LinkedIn group for discussions on LinkedIn. You can collaborate with other members of the community. Our open source tooling. We've got sample galleries that we're going to talk a lot about today. And we've also got one URL, maybe two, depending on how you want to remember it, that will give you access to each and every single one of these resources for absolutely free, no cost at all. aka.ms/community/home, or you can go to community.ms, our new and improved and awesome full-level, top-level domain. Just put that into the chat or into your browser, and it will give you access to all those awesome things. And if you're on this call, hopefully it means you like calls. Well, we got plenty of them. Our Tuesday call, this is every single week. It's our Microsoft 365 and Power Platform Microsoft speakers call, which means that you're going to hear directly from the product managers and program managers that are building and responsible for all the cool things that we interact with each and every day. It's a great way to see what's coming up and what's new. So definitely get that on your calendar. Our monthly Power Platform and, of course, our monthly Office add-ins. Then we've got our bi-weekly sibling calls, which you're on right now, the Microsoft 365 and Power Platform community, and Viva Connections and SharePoint Framework. Those happen every single Thursday. The topics flip-flop, and you can get access to them by going to aka.ms/community/calls. Get those invites on your calendar so that you will be alerted. You can also go to the meetup. The agendas are all published there, so it's a great way to see what's coming up and get excited. Speaking of which, on Tuesday, this is a new no fooling call, everybody. Happens to be on the 1st of April, but we aren't fooling around. Nope, Mark is going to be there talking about SharePoint SharePoint embedded latest updates. Bob German is going to be talking about declarative agents with an API plugin. And Nate and Alexander are going to be talking about approvals/BizApp features in community to be updated. So we're going to cliffhanger, right? That's what that is. It's a cliffhanger. We're going to see more information there coming soon. So we're all excited. And if you're watching and you're thinking, you know, some really cool things are being shown off today, and I have some cool things that I want to share, but does anybody really want to see it? Yes, we do. Everybody wants to see it. So if you've created some cool things, whether it be a favorite feature, how to use that, or a script that improves your workflow throughout the day, I promise you, if you find value, so will others. So don't hesitate to sign up for a demo. Absolutely let us know what you're passionate about. That means more than almost anything, and you will help someone by sharing your passion. So don't overthink it. Doesn't have to be a flux capacitor that makes time travel possible. Nope, not at all. Just share with us your passion, and if you need a buddy, let us know. We can work with you and ensure everything is set up appropriately for you. So don't hesitate to fill that out. And if you also are wanting to contribute to the community by way of samples, using them, or I don't know, contributing to them, there's a lot of ways you can do that. Our Sharing is Caring is here to provide that guidance. These sessions, they are live, they're hands-on, they are safe space. What does all that mean? It means that we're going to get into a Teams call together, and we are going to go through an actual submission of how to make a sample and contribute it via that GitHub hubs, that hub of Gits, that confusing labyrinth that can be GitHub. We are going to walk you through. It is going to be end to end. And guess what? It counts as a contribution. And we don't record it. So you're safe to ask any and all questions that you'd like without fear of going, well, no one else asked this question. Should I ask it? Is it going to go on record and be recorded forever? Don't worry. We don't record. So you can ask any and all questions, and we all got to learn from somewhere. So come, join, collaborate, ask questions. We're going to have the next session out here soon. And why? We're going to have a couple of sessions because we are excited for what is coming up next month, which is just around the corner on Tuesday for our recognition program. That is where we will recognize all the amazing work that you're doing in the community. So our badges like Prompt Pro and Snippet Sourcer, some of those favorites, the events that just wrapped up like Powerful Devs and SharePoint Hackathon, those Powerful Devs, keep it on your email. They're going to be coming out tonight. SharePoint Hackathon wrapped up, Repo Rescuer, Modern Search, and then, of course, what is everyone excited about? That's right. On April 1st, we're launching the Star Wars May the 4th Be With You themed badges that are going to be available. May the open source be with you. The Fork Awakens, Rise of the Contributor. You're going to have 3 full months to earn all 3 of these badges with really lightweight contributions. And like I said, if you join that Sharing is Caring session, it is a contribution. So that means you'll get your first badge for absolutely learning how to do it. These are absolutely free, 100%. We cover the costs, but they are real and accredited. So all you got to do is opt into the program at aka.ms/community/recognition, and that will give you access to for us to be able to track the work you're doing in the community and send you these amazing badges. Put them on your LinkedIn profile, put them on your blog, share them on Twitter, X, Blue Sky, LinkedIn, all the above. Let your boss and your clients know that you're making a difference because that's what they recognize. You are making a difference for the better in the community, and we appreciate that. And another opportunity for some new badges, Copilot Dev Camp. Yep, these are new and out, and they have already kicked off. So you've got an opportunity to earn all 5 of these badges. All 5. You can earn all 5. All you got to do is go through the Copilot Camp program and modules and pathways, and you will be able to access all of these. They're limited to the first 200, and the process can be found at aka.ms/copilotdevcamp/awards. So super excited for these. These are really, really cool, rewarding you for learning, which is the best kind of rewards, right? So check it out, and let's learn together and be rewarded. Now, let's also start moving into our project-specific updates. We're going to start out with Copilot prompts. So this is one of those really easy and wonderful ways to be able to start contributing to the community because we've all kind of become, I don't know, those prompt engineers, if you will, and learning how to curate and that love language with Copilot. And so I guarantee each and every one of us has something special and unique that we've created for Copilot. So share it. Join the Sharing is Caring, learn how to contribute to GitHub, and that's your first contribution, and it's super easy. And in fact, we're showcasing them. Here's the prompt of the week from our very own Jim Duncan. His is summarizing Copilot chat as page. So it says, please summarize your responses for this entire conversation in a format suitable for creating a Copilot page. So super, super cool. Love the thought process there, Jim. Excellent job. We really appreciate that, what you're doing there. And we will put that into the chat for everybody to be able to access. So you can get that at aka.ms/PNP prompt library or directly, and we'll have that in the show notes as well. All right, let's move into PNP.NET libraries with Bert.
Thank you, David. For the PNP.NET site, for both libraries, bit of a quiet week, 2 weeks, I would say. The main change was done by René Nicolai, where we did further improvements on the page API, so the API to create and update pages in SharePoint. Thanks for that, René. Furthermore, we're more or less good to go for PowerShell, I guess. So over to Gautam.
Awesome.
He's also Redmond, I hope.
Yeah. We got a lot of friends up in Redmond this week, everybody, for for MVP Summit. So you're going to be hearing a lot from me today. We don't have a ton of updates, but we have exciting initiatives that are already in play here. So just some reminders, there'll be updates on the next call for sure as everybody comes back. PNP PowerShell v.3 is coming soon-ish. And why do you care? Because this thing gets 37 million downloads. That's a lot. 140 million commandlets executed per day. Something must be going right. So if you're not using PNP PowerShell, check it out. Let you consume all these updates at a later time. But a lot of exciting things and a lot of hard work by the community. So we appreciate Gautam and the whole rest of the team and all that they're doing on this project. We've also got our script samples. Paul, again, was also up in Redmond learning some cool new stuff. Wanted to say thank you to everybody. Again, this is another easy, lightweight way to be able to contribute, because we've all got those utility scripts that do something for us each and every day that makes our lives easier. Well, if it makes your life easier, it's going to make everybody else's life easier. So definitely share it with the community. Reach out to Paul. He's a great guy. He absolutely loves to help anybody and everybody contribute to this initiative. And again, it's super light way of being able to do that. All right, and then we've also got our Copilot Pro Dev sample agents. These are some of what were covered in the last call with Bob. He's also up in Redmond taking care of some stuff for the summit. So we appreciate him sharing all of these. We'll put these in the chat again. We called them out on the last call, so I won't go through each and every one of them. But a lot of cool things here if you're looking as a pro dev to kind of glean on how others are working with Copilot. Check these out. All the links are in the chat and will be in the show notes. And then we've got Power Platform sample snippets and prompts. Oh my, Kate, tell us more.
Yeah, thank you very much, David, and hi, everybody. Today, our new samples and snippets are all about beautiful interface and efficiency. So let's start with samples. The first sample is Term Body application that we built with my partner, Artyom, during the Powerful Dev Hackathon in February. This application makes it easier with term learning and management. It includes Copilot Studio Agent, bicep scripts to provision required Azure resources, and a Canvas app application for parameters management and analytics. And this app won in the Best in Power category in the hackathon, which I'm super happy and excited. Yeah, let's move on. So the next sample came from Vipul Jain, and this is a Power Apps template with reusable header, footer, and left navigation. All you need to do is to add screen's name and position into a SharePoint list. And this template will craft for you a nice responsive Canva to start your development process. Super useful and convenient to manage screens. Great job, people. And the next sample crafted by Samir Duri. This is progress and step bars. A super cool illustration how to turn these visualizations into something lovely and meet your brand book style. Thank you very much, Samir, for sharing this with us. And let's move to snippets. We have two attractive new snippets. Clarissa shared with us the gradient background. This is a perfect use case of named formulas and user-defined functions, how they help you to simplify and manage colors. I love this snippet and excellent work. Thank you very much, Clarissa. Another snippet built Shrutika Patil. This snippet turns agents' messages into stunning charts. With the help of this snippet, you can send information in form of different graphics instead of plain text. Love the snippets too. Thank you, Shrutika, for sharing. A huge thanks to all our contributors. This is awesome to see such great work you've built and shared with us. And as always, I want to highlight that everything you can see here is completely free and samples are unmanaged, which means you can start use them without a hitch. And I motivate everyone to become a contributor as well. We are eager to see what you've built. And look at those amazing numbers at the bottom of the slide. We are about to hit 200 merged pull requests full of awesome sample snippets and prompts. So what you are waiting for? Just follow the link you can see on the slide, explore the contribution guide, and submit your pull request. And if you have any questions, feel free, do not hesitate to ping me via LinkedIn or whenever it's convenient for you, and I will be more than happy to help you and assist you to prepare the submission-ready code. Thank you so much, and let's keep growing together. Back to you, David.
Awesome. Thank you, Kate. And again, thank you to everyone who's contributing to all of our sample repos. Amazing work, would not be possible without your passion. All right, well, what time is it? It is that time. It is picture time. So we've got together mode all ready to go. Get those cameras turned on, and I will move this in and start getting, where's my cursor? There we go. We will get Camtasia ready and see those cameras going on. Good. We are just about on time, everybody. So wonderful work. See Vesta, see Kate. All right, see April and Seena, everybody's looking good. There's Isabel, well done on yesterday's hackathon, excellent. All right, everybody, Stephanie, seeing those great looking faces. Let's give it just another second. I see Paolo, excellent. Paolo's the one that made those badges for Copilot Dev Camp happen, so I'm super excited for that. Super excited. Did I say super enough? All right, let's go. 3, 2, 1, let's wave to the community, everybody. Great to see you all. Thank you for attending. Bess is like, can you hurry up, man? I've been waiting for 10 minutes. Great to see you all again. Really appreciate your passion to show up here each and every week. Would not be possible without all of what you do in our community. All right, let's move back to that regularly scheduled program, and we are going to kick it off with our first presenter. Again, Chris is his first on the call, so he's going to cover Power Apps Chess, but there's business value too. Chris, I'm pondering where that business's value is going to be. It's going to be awesome. I can't wait to see it. Take on over the screen whenever you're ready, my friend.
Sure thing. Can you hear me? I assume you can.
Yep, sounds good.
All right, awesome. Well, yeah, thanks for having me. My name is Chris Hansen. I'm based in Denmark. It's a bit away from most of you guys, I assume. I don't know. I'm a Power Platform architect, been that since 2019. I've been working with Power BI since 2017, and then Apps and Automate came for me in 2019, and as per 1st of January in 2025, I am also a Microsoft MVP. So I technically don't really have time to be here because I have some summit that I need to look into. But this is more important, I've been told. So here we are. I'm also hosting the Power Platform user group in Denmark, at least the physical meetings. There's both a virtual and a physical part, and I'm hosting the physical part. I blog at skillsdrills.com. The blog is mainly for me, so things that I get asked about a lot, I actually write a blog instead of just emailing the solution. There's a GitHub available where the solution that we see today is available, for instance. And then obviously I have a LinkedIn profile just like everybody else. But without further ado, I think we're just going to get right into it and show basically what is Power Chess in this case. I recently found out there's people at Microsoft who also built a chess application. I was like, well, mine is probably cooler than yours. And it turns out maybe it's not, but I think it's cooler. And we're going to go look into why this one is cooler. So first of all, while building a game like this, I would assume that it's going to take a ton of different controls, like a ton of different logic, how to make all these things work together. But reality is that the entire chess game is actually just a gallery with 3 things inside it. And then you have, well, a full chess game. So the labels here are just like to communicate to the player and to reset the game. So essentially, an entire chess game is one gallery with 3 controls inside it. One of the things that this one is a bit unique for is the ability to actually drag and drop. So Power Apps natively does not support drag and drop. So there's a PCF layered in here as well, which is built originally by Diane Birkelbach, a German-based MVP, who happened to build this just as I needed it. But just to give a bit of an idea of what we're looking at, basically there's a huge on start, which initializes a lot of SVGs for all the different bricks and pieces in the chessboard. So for instance, here's the light bishop. So those are just a ton of SVGs. And then we initiate a chessboard, and then we actually place the bricks on their equivalent spots as well. And then we go from there. Then all the logic is built inside the actual PCF. So here there's a PCF which allows you to drag and drop. And again, if this is a need of yours, check out Diana. She built a really cool PCF. It's obviously publicly available. And I mean, this thing does magical things. But what is actually happening in here is that there's this huge thing for unchanged. So whenever we grab a piece, essentially, it's going to figure out all the logic of where can bricks go, where they're legal to go, where they're not allowed to go, what will they potentially take as a target if they will go somewhere, and how that all works. So essentially, this is a lot of for loops inside Power Apps, and Power Apps does not do for loops. But we can manipulate sequence a long way and actually end up with an entire set of what is legal and what is not. So just to show the application, I cannot press preview here because if I do that, the PCFs will not load. So I actually have to have it playing in a separate window. But basically, why it always starts, and some of the more interesting things, obviously, is to take pawns, for instance, because pawns have quite unique moves in the sense that they can go 1 forward, but they can't go to the sides. So these are obviously blocked. But they can also go 2 forward, at least on the first position. So I could push white up here, and it's actually allowed to do that. If I counter with black, well, I'll go 1 forward. And then just to bring in another use case, we can obviously move here the knight. And it can't go these positions, but it's allowed to jump over the other positions as long as it goes 2 and then 1. So that one could go there, for instance. And then just to grab the pawn here, it can go 1 forward, but can't go 2 forward because now it's not on its initial position anymore. So there's a lot of different logics going on in here. And just to finalize it, obviously now that this one is within striking range, the white one can now go 1 forward. It can't go left, but it can indeed go right and actually get the black pawn. And then basically when you're done playing, you will be told who won the game. So let's see if I can actually manage to win the game here. I am very much not a chess player. I managed to screw that up completely. So let's just be black and be very bad at being a chess player. So here we will see that white is actually going to win by taking the king, and now the game is not being able to be played anymore. So as I mentioned already, and I think it's also being put in the chat, this one is available on GitHub for you to like take and play with. And just as a note, there are 3 things that are missing from the application. One of them is the ability to do castling, where you swap the positions with the rook and the king, so like to defend it. There's also no information on whether a player is checked or checkmated, and then there's no enemy to play against. So that's 3 obvious opportunities if you would like to take this thing and like build it forward. So it's somewhat intentionally not finished. I have a finished version, but that's not public because I think this is more fun. This is a learning opportunity. But one thing I did promise, though, is there's also business value. So this originally came from a customer that has, well, an application to an iOS. They want to go to Power Apps instead because it felt more controlled for them. But the very important feature that they were worried about was the ability to drag and drop. So why not build a chess game where we can demonstrate that? So in this case, they have 3 different services. They're all called Service 1, and then have a start date and an end date. The Danish word for end is slut. It's not something profane here. Don't worry about it. And then basically they have these building sites where they need to do some sort of work somewhere. And they could put a guide, say, enter the door, turn left, turn right, turn left again, and then maybe you're in the right place, maybe you're in the wrong place, but they might just remove the wrong wall or something. But now with the drag and drop instead, they're able to take the numbers and just, drag them straight onto the screen and say, where does task 2 need to be completed? Where does task 3 need to be completed? And then we have actually a full-on grid here where we can drag our services down and into the grid. So that's the exact same drag and drop component with the PCF. And Diana has built a ton of different applications using this where you can assign desks to people, for instance. So there's definitely business value in having fun sometimes too. And I think that was what I very much wanted to demonstrate. And I think I'm just going to cut it here and say, I'm happy with what I showed and I don't want to take up too much time.
Chris, very, very cool. Awesome. We'd love to have you back again. And if you have a couple seconds, so you were great on time. If you want to show anything within Power Apps and anything special that you felt was a learning opportunity as part of this, because like you said, making the game helps you learn at the same time. If you have something at the ready, if not, that's okay. But if you do.
I mean, we can definitely talk a little bit about it. So this one, for instance, a very important aspect of this is transferring what we're looking at now into a PDF. And Power Apps inside it has these PDF functionalities, so you can actually print the PDFs. And I'm sorry to say, but they don't work awesome. So I am able to press here and merge, and that way I will actually merge the 2 layers, both my number layer and the visual layer that's underneath, into one single layer. But it runs between 5 seconds sometimes and up to 1.5 minutes, depending on the resolution of the picture and everything. So this is not the greatest approach. What we ended up doing instead was then we actually wrote the whole thing in HTML. So we layer the picture in HTML, we layer the things on top in HTML. And then we made a new challenge that when you convert a file from HTML into PDF using the OneDrive connector, it's going to limit you with a 2 megabyte size of the file. And considering the resolution of these pictures are sometimes 4,000 by 5,000 because you want a very high resolution, we can't do that. So we actually ended up smashing up some Python, and thank you to Copilot for writing the Python. And within less than an hour, a guy who does not build Python ended up with a Python script that was then referenced from Power Automate. So be very aware of the limitation both of PDF generation inside Power Apps, but also the 2 megabyte of the file size. So you are able to get there without any external providers, third-party providers. Of course, you could just get a license from whichever PDF converter as well, but we found the solution here to be much more, I'm going to say, fun, building with our own hands. And I think that's going to be the learning experience from this one in particular.
Okay. Yeah. Very cool. Very cool. Awesome. Thank you for sharing it. You might even say, I don't know, I'm rooking forward to see rookie. Okay, everybody. Yeah, the dad jokes are over. I'll give up. Thank you, Chris. Awesome. Thanks for sharing your passion with everybody. This is very, very cool. But I am looking forward to see how others are gaining inspiration from this or looking forward. Awesome job. Thank you. Sriram, you are up next. If you'd like to start taking over, we'll get you introduced here. He is going to cover AI-assisted Power Platform development using Power Platform Assistance Toolbox. So you have the floor, my friend. It is all yours.
Hey, I'm Sriram. Just a brief intro about myself. I'm a BizApps MVP. I got it last year, July. Uh, the thing is, these are my socials, my website, my YouTube. I also post videos, and also this is my GitHub. Yeah. Just to start off, just a brief introduction about this. This is the Power Platform AI Assistant Toolbox. This is inspired by the XRM Toolbox. And then here, the only difference is you don't have to write code. You have to write prompts for it. So this provides AI assistant tools for assist developers and not only developers, testing requirements, the whole gamut of the software development lifecycle. So this is basically under the hood. It's a Canvas app which uses AI Builder and the prompts to interact with the GPT. So currently it has 18 assistant tools. The users can extend this the toolbox by adding their own tools. I'll just quickly show you that. And this can also be combined with the Copilots or agents, whatever you call, provided by Microsoft. Okay. So how are we doing on time, David? So that it can be really quick. We have 10 minutes.
Yeah, you got plenty of time. You got about 10, 12 minutes. Absolutely, take it away.
Okay. Yeah. So I'll just start with the requirements. So there are a few assistants, which will be helping the requirement space. To start off, is the data model assistant. What you can do is, let's say you're new to the domain or the industry, you can just go ahead and get the data model at least to start the discussions. And this goes hand in hand with the user story assistant. So what you can do is you can actually, if you're new to any requirement workshops, so you can just, what are typical requirements, your, let's say, example, membership CRM. So, that's where user story assistant comes into play. So once you have generated the data model, using the assistant, you can just go to the Copilot in Power Apps and that's, and then create the data model. This is just more start with the prototype. Things will change. So, at least you can get a feel of, during the early, requirements itself, what, the client will be clearly know what will it look like, what will be the, the final app look like. So I'll just get started. I'll go here. Yeah. So this is to start with. This is the the assistant toolbox. So at least I'll just quickly go through the UI. So you have toolbar. You can just type in. I'll start with user story assistant. Once I type it, these are the conversation starters you see in Microsoft 365 Copilot. This is just a sample one, so you don't stare at the blank screen. So what I'll do, I'll start with this one. I'll say generate 10 user stories for a membership CRM system. Let's say I'm in a requirement workshop where you need to build a membership CRM. So I can ask this toolbox to give me a set of requirements for a membership CRM system. Here I'm asking it to give it like 10 user stories for this requirement. It takes a few seconds. So there you go. You have a user story and you have the acceptance criteria for that user story. Same thing, it just goes on for 10 user stories, right? That's one. The next one I'm just going to show is the data model assistant. Here I'm asking, give me a data model and a EID for a dealer management system. So this is just a sample. I mean, this is just gives you pointers. Like you can ask, I can just say, give me a data model EID for a membership CRM, right? So this gives me the, the tables and what kind of tables you can have. So what I can do, I can just now copy that and go to here, my Power Apps Copilot, paste it here, and hit generate. So what this is going to go and do is it's just going to create these tables for me. So I'm not going to wait for it. So for sake of time, I'll just move on. So that's how you can actually combine both the Power Platform AI toolbox with the existing Copilots. So, okay. The next one, okay. Yeah, so what I'll do next is I'll just switch to the design. Copilots. So this is where what are the copilots? You can use it in the design phase. The thing is, there's something called Architect Assistant created. So what it can do is it can create sequence diagrams, it can create use case diagrams, system context diagrams, as well as the ERD. For the ERD, you can use the data model assistant I just showed you. So let me quickly go here. A second. Yeah. So this is what created the data model. I think you saw a few seconds back. Yeah. I'm going to go to the Architect Assistant. So let me go here. So here I'm this assistant. If you see a sample prompts, the constant you can see it wants to create a sequence diagram and as well as the use case diagram for sales system and a system context diagram for the sales system. I'm just going to say, go ahead and show me those diagrams. So this diagrams will be in the plant UML format. So what you can do is I can just go ahead. I'll just show you one of those. I can go ahead and copy those. I am going to the plant UML online editor. I just copy and paste it. And this is actually going to generate your diagram here. So this you can actually use it in up your design documents or architecture documents, so on and so forth. So just moving on, this is I just talked about the design. So how can you use it for testing? So I'll just quickly run through the testing. Oh no, I just went to one step further. Yeah, the next one is the development one. Here I can assist you in creating plugins, workflows, in a liquid code, and it can also assist you in creating PCF controls and generate fetch XML. As well as fetch XML, you can convert to a query expression in C# or a OData expression in C#. So I'll just quickly go through that. Let me go back. So let me start with the PCF controls assistant. I just given a few samples. I'll just say I'll just remove the other two. So I can say PCF control example for a color label. I'll quickly run that. Takes a few seconds. Yeah, there you go. It shows the detailed steps and gives you the code for that. Next is the plugins. So, yeah, so this is just gives me a sample for a custom workflow as well as a plugin, both. So you can actually change this according to your requirements. I'm just saying on creation of an account, set the name of account to contour, so blah blah. So here, if you see, it shows a custom workflow code as well as the Dataverse plugin in C#. So those are two things. And then I'm just moving on to the fetch XML assistance. Fetch XML. So I can just say natural language. Let's say I'm generate fetch XML for get full name, last name from contact. This is going to give me the fetch XML for that. Yeah, this is fetch XML. And you can use it to query expression. So I already have a fetch XML, but I want to write C# code, for this using query expression. It actually generates the C# code. And the last but not the least is the OData. So fetch XML, you're converting to a OData format. You can just get the equivalent OData expression. So that's about development. I'll just quickly run through the testing tools. Here we have like three instances. One is it can create test cases for you, and you can also create, if you have a test case, you can create a code for you for easy repro. And also, if you have test cases for REST APIs, you can, from the test case, you can create a REST API, automation code for you. Let me quickly go there. So this is the test case. I'm just saying, I'm going to use a story. Based on that, it's going to actually create a test case. So it gives a few seconds. So here are your test cases, and this is the user story. And also, let's see, say REST API, automation assistant. So once you give the test case for your REST API endpoint, it's going to give the automation code for it. So this is using REST Sharp. It's going to give that. And the last is the Easy Repro one. Oh, so there's some issue. That's fine. Easy Repro. Let's pick this one. Take some easy. Yeah, there's an issue. Yeah, well, demigods are not happy. Yeah. So anyway, so those are the ones I just want to touch upon. The last one, but not the least, as I told you earlier, I mean, these are the tools I have created, but you can extend it, with your own tools. All you have to do is we have a Dataverse table called assistants, and then you can go ahead and add a row in the table. So for example, this is Architect Assistant. So you give your conversation starters, your prompt, description, and so on and so forth. So what happens is this one picks it up, and then generates based on your prompt as well as your whatever you put in your conversation starters. So this is the GitHub URL for it. Yeah, you can just go ahead if you want to play with this. You can go ahead and download this tool. And if you want to share your own tools or prompts, you can share with me. I can actually add it to the toolbox and share this with the community. Yeah, I think I'm done. Yeah.
Awesome stuff, Sriram. Yeah, this is really, really cool. 18 tools, that's quite a bit. So love that you're willing to be collaborative with the community, and we'll see if we can maybe get that into the community repos as well. Very, very cool.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, thank you for sharing with the community on the calls. Excellent job. Okay, well, let's get it. Thank you. Yeah, let's get into our final presentation. Seena is back, and she's going to talk about building a smart feedback agent with Copilot Studio, Adaptive Cards, and Power Automate. So we've got the trifecta of coolness going on there. Seena, if you'd like to take on over the screen share your screen, and we can get going.
Yes, thanks, David. Please let me know my screen is
up. Yep, I see your browser. Yep.
Okay. I have some issues in my PowerPoint application, so I can't share my slides. So directly I'm going for the practical session. So
no
today,
problem. That's okay. Yeah.
Thank you. So in this session, I'm going to build a smart feedback agent with Copilot Studio, Adaptive Cards, and Power Automate. So here, let's start with that. So all of you knows about the Copilot Studio, where we can create agents. And then Adaptive Cards, here I am using Adaptive Card IO Designer. And here, this is the template I'm going to use in my feedback. And this is a JSON script I have created. And here in this body, I have added an image. And then there is some description, and then name and email address, and how satisfied are you with our service, and then some additional comments, and there is a submit button. So this is the format of my Adaptive Card. I'm going to use this in my Copilot Studio agent. So I'm going to create, so by clicking on agents here, just taking a different environment.
I always feel like there needs to be that elevator music going on when the servers of Microsoft are chugging along, all the AI generatively generating. Is that a phrase? Generatively generating? Do we get like server? Is it like a server language where it's thinking hard? Would that be the old audio of faxes, I wonder? Those deep thoughts. That's right, everybody. The dial-up modem sounds. I have to get a sound effect for that.
Okay, the agents. I'm just going to create a new agent. So here, skip to configure. I'm not going to use any Copilot AIO for this. And skip to configure. I'm providing the name feedback agent and the description. I have already some descriptions here I have done. So I'm just copying that here. So this feedback agent will collect user feedback after each interaction with the system. It uses Adaptive Cards to prompt users for their feedback on the quality and relevance of the responses they received. The feedback is then analyzed to identify areas for improvement and enhance the overall user experience. So this is the description for my agent, and the instructions also I'm just copying from here. So the role of this feedback is you are a feedback agent responsible for collecting user feedback after each interaction, and the format, collect feedback in a structured format with fields of overall experience, suggestions for improvement, and additional comments. User-friendly and encouraging tone. Context, ask for feedback specifically about the accuracy and helpfulness of the responses provided during the interaction. Include questions like rate your satisfaction on a scale of 1 to 5 and provide any additional comments. And exclusion is do not ask for personal information or any sensitive data. Then adaptive cards, use an adaptive card to present feedback questions and collect responses, and follow-ups in the collected feedback to the designated team for review and analysis. So these are my description and instructions, and here I'm just click on create to create it. Yeah, here it is created. And you can see the description and general instructions over here. And the topics, we are going to add a topic for conversation start. So here it is, the conversation start. So what is the message I have to be passed when a new conversation will start? So here already there are some messages. So I'm just typing some other messages I have to provide. So for that here, so hello, I'm here. You can see the bot name, a virtual assistant, and this from here I'm just deleting. So I'm just typing. We hope you had a great experience using our product today. Could you please take a moment to share your experiences? Here is the home for it. So after this message, I'm going to add an adaptive card. Just click on add a note. And here you can see several options. And from here, I'm going to select ask with adaptive card. And in the properties, I'm giving this card there. So copy this JSON script. Here I have added, save it. Okay. So now when you refresh, test your agent, you can see the preview of your agent over here. So here the text also has been edited. So we hope you had a great experience using our product today. So when the conversation starts, what message I have passed there. So same you can see, and here it is the adaptive card. Then coming over here, we have to make all these are the variables for this card, and we have to make it globally accessible, because we are going to use it in Power Automate as well. So I'm making all these variables globally accessible. So global variables. Now save it. Now I'm going to add a Power Automate. So how we are going to add a Power Automate in this agent? So here just click add a node and then add an action. And here new Power Automate flow. It will redirect to a Power Automate environment. So here I'm going to add, so this is skills from Copilot Studio. So you can see over here, I'm going to add some inputs. First is name, then another is email, then another is comments. These are for that variables which you are going to use. And then suggestion, not suggestion, satisfaction. So these are the 4 variables going to access. Now here I'm going to add another action, which is about to send an email to the users about this feedback. So I'm going to take this, send an email version 2, and specify the email address. And here is the subject, feedback from the agent, and here's the body. And here I'm giving the details. So please find your feedback here. And here's the details I'm giving, the name, and this is from the dynamic content, the name, then email, satisfaction, then here the comments. Okay, now my flow is ready. Saving my form flow here. I didn't provide name. We have to give a name as well here. Now back to the Copilot Studio, and here click on done. The flow which you have configured here will be listed over here in this add an action list. Okay, here is my flow, feedback flow 2. Just selecting that. Okay, here I need to configure my action variables with this adaptive card variable. So name, I'm selecting the name, and for email, here's the email, comments, and for satisfaction. Now I'm just passing a message as well to just understand the user. Okay, so this is successfully submitted the feedback. Now I'm saving this. So after completing, you can test it here, just providing the values, and then I'm submitting it. Okay, so if it is asking for the additional permission to connect, so just click on the connect, and from here, connect it, submit. So now you can see the status, it's connected. Go back into the Copilot Studio again and retry it. So you have successfully submitted the feedback. Okay, and I will show you the email which I have received. Here is the details of the feedback I have received from the feedback agent through the Copilot Studio which I have done. So this is the final output for this. Please let me know if you have any queries or anything.
Awesome, Seena. Thank you very, very much for sharing that. It's really cool to see how it all works together and see how you can use all these variety of things, again, using those Copilot Studio, adaptive cards, and Power Automate, really using all these technologies together to make a cohesive application that works as we want our users to enjoy. So excellent, thank you. All right, everybody. Well, want to really appreciate all of our presenters today, Chris, Sriram, and Seena. Thank you. Sriram, Chris, your first time on the call. Thank you again, all of you, for your passion and your dedication to the community, so we appreciate it. Just a few wrap-up slides. If you want to collaborate with other members of the community, we have our Discord server that is absolutely available for you to go join. You can impress your kids that you're in Discord. Super, super cool way, but it is a one-stop shop opportunity to be able to collaborate with other members of the community around different topics in one location, and Discord's definitely gaining popularity and has a lot of cool features, so check it out. It's absolutely free to join that. We also would love to get some feedback from you. If there's anything that you're liking about these calls, even if you provided that feedback already, please let us know. Things are still working. We want to make improvements and continue to provide value to you. We appreciate all that you're doing and attending each and every week. The recording will be available in 24 hours or less on the Microsoft Community Learning YouTube channel. You can subscribe at ak.ms/community/YouTube. You can also follow the team on Twitter/X, Blue Sky, LinkedIn. Come check us out. We will let you know as soon as it's available, and we will be sharing out all the other wonderful things. The next call is on April 10th, 2 weeks from today. It is back at the original time, everybody. So if you were in the States or adjusted or affected by the time of the daylight savings time adjustment, we are back to normal starting next week and all the other calls until the fall at least. And then the next Viva Connection SharePoint Framework next week, April 3rd. You can check out everything else at aka.ms/community/calls, as well as go to community.ms to find out all about the newest, latest, and greatest. So thank you, everybody, for having your contributions to this call and contributing in the conversations and everything. Really appreciate all you're doing. Have a wonderful rest of your week, a wonderful weekend, and thank you all for being amazing and awesome. We'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.
Bye. Awesome work.
Thank you.
Thank you.